Edges that always get lost first. Anybody on either side have any questions? I just kind of go hand by hand. You guys can ask me whatever you want to ask.
Well, in that case.
Uh-huh.
I do have a question.
All right, let's start with you, and then we'll grab you next.
Okay. I gotta know, in the Turtle movie, how much of that was improvised and you were totally able?
A lot. The script was a good idea. Well, any script is kind of like a roadmap. It depends on what you want to do with your character and how much fun you want to have with it. And I had a couple of ideas with the character, and there were several ideas about just how evil I would make him. And I had to sit down with the director at one point, and I said, "Listen, I've got about 3 different ideas here, based on what the script says, and I'm not sure how much I want to scare the fans."
Yeah, that looks like fun, man.
That guy's always having more fun.
He and I both enjoyed it, actually. We were like, hey, we actually get to do this for a minute. And all we were trying to figure out was how hard we could really kick each other and hit each other. It's like, no, I can take more. Go ahead. I was like, okay, here you go, bam. He's like, all right, yeah, no, grab my throat, squeeze. No, I can still talk. Squeeze harder. Okay, is that good? Yeah. So it was, we had a lot of fun. And at one point I showed Shuki one of the versions of the scene I wanted to do. He says, I think everyone would hate your character for the rest of your life if you did that.
What'd you want to do?
That's a little too evil for Jason.
What are you going to do?
What was it?
We won't tell nobody.
Well, there was a portion where when the fight initially started, I kind of slowly approach, and there's the chains where I snap them apart and just kind of stare everybody down like they're lunch. And I was going to walk off, and I was going to do a front flip off the edge of the volcano entrance in slow motion with a layout and a twist. It's called a Russian. And I was going to end up standing behind Tommy, and I was going to wrap the chains around his throat and flip him over backwards over the front of my shoulders.
Would have been badass! Yeah!
Then I was supposed to twist it, and then I was going to pick him up like it was a garrote, or I don't know if you're familiar with what a garrote is, but it's something you choke somebody with. And Shuki was like, that's just a little bit rough.
We would have loved it.
And Jason wasn't keen on, he wasn't real keen over the idea of flying over my shoulder backwards anyways. We agreed to let that go.
Aww.
I think you had a question next.
Yeah, this better be my girlfriend calling me. Well, you know it is. I was just wondering, from the original episodes, right, like the lost episodes or whatever, you guys used to show bloopers back in the day, and I'm a big fan of the bloopers, man. Is there any plans to put some bloopers on DVD, or can you tell us about something that you thought was hilarious that should have been on but never happened?
Well, it should have been on as in politically correct and okay, or politically correct stuff that should have been on.
No.
Maybe just for an adult viewing.
That and just stuff that you guys would totally screw up the lines and realize, oh crap, that's not my line.
Okay, let me tell you. I signed a contract when I was 17, and I guess I really started filming at 18. And I don't remember the name of the episode specifically, but I remember there was this great big flower monster.
Spitflower.
Now, try with all your heart, with no acting experience, to run up on this scene, and here you are with all these guys, all who know how to act, and you're trying to learn from them. I needed help desperately. And you run up on this thing, and here's this just really bad costume of a flower thing. A, keep a straight face. B, when you're done still trying to keep a straight face, and take 36. Then deliver the line with a straight face, and I don't even remember what the line, no, it was a flower/clown. And I think the line was something to the effect of, "You're going down, clown." I still can't say it with a straight face. I don't know how many years it's been, so it was really hard. There were a lot of scenes where it was everything we could do to just keep a straight face until we heard cut, and then we'd fall apart laughing. And, or we'd say it with a straight face, and somebody would, pause where you have that moment where you're trying to remember your line, and something's going on, and especially with Jason Narby or myself, we love the impromptu, say the stuff that we're not supposed to say, and we're not always smart enough to wait for the camera to stop rolling. So, if you're going down, clown, and then somebody pause and be like, oh, I can't say that. There was a lot of impromptu stuff. I'd love to see a lot of it on some outtakes, and I was actually talking to Tony Oliver about pulling something together. And the show was never real compliant, even for the actors. Getting us copies. I still don't have copies of all the episodes I've done. I haven't seen them all. In fact, I haven't hardly seen half of them. But I hear lots about them. So it's, I don't know. I'd like to see it. It would be pretty neat. And I think the fans would thoroughly enjoy it. But we'd definitely like to see a different side. Here's another one. Wow. Shoot.
Actually, it's a two-parter. Out of the main villains, who was your favorite? The ones we saw every day on every episode.
Probably Zed. Zed, Ed, I don't know. Some of you guys might not have been here yesterday when the guy who was Zed was in here, and his name is Ed.
Who was your favorite out of the ones that Finster would make up? The little guys that you had to actually fight on the battle.
None of them really stick in my memory. They came, so many of them came and went that it was just like, what am I fighting today again? Steering wheel? Okay, I can put something together for that, all right.
What was your favorite fight scene for Jason?
I liked putting together the stuff in the ring with Goldar when the Green Ranger was coming out. That was kind of different, because I've always been a ring fighter. I like full contact. So that was kind of cool for me. Some of the Gold Ranger stuff was really cool, and the initial fight scenes, I think, from Day of the Dumpster, even the parts that were cut out, were really cool. So I had a lot of fun with those. Anything where they just let me go and create anything I wanted and do the stunts the way I wanted. I was big on Jackie Chan. I was big on Bruce Lee, a few other martial artists out there, and I spent a lot of time traveling the world with a few of them. And my time in Hong Kong, I learned a lot and tried to suck it up and bring it into the movies and the show as much as I could. But they always cut it out because they liked, I had to be the old American guy.
See, you traveled the world with Jackie Chan?
He and I spent some time doing some work overseas.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool.
Jackie's a really cool guy.
Can you elaborate on that? With Jackie Chan?
I can't elaborate on it yet, but we'll see if things are going to finish the way I would like them to. There may be some things in the future.
Yeah.
Forever Red, you actually come driving in on a motorcycle. I was just wondering, do you remember what it is and do you still ride?
I have had a 1993 FXTC Harley Davidson Softail. Harley is probably the best girlfriend I've ever had. I love my Harley. So my Harley and my Jeep, I think I've had them both since '93 and sold off the Mercedes and all kinds of the other funky stuff and kept the Harley and the Jeep.
Is it a coincidence that you just happen to have a bike made in '93 when Power Rangers started?
Yeah, I guess it is. And there was a time, actually, I still consider going out and getting the Harley painted with bringing in a couple of buddies of mine who are phenomenal airbrush artists. and putting up some sort of Ranger scheme on it. You know, Red Ranger / Gold Ranger scheme, you know, with different faces and stuff. But I don't know, I think probably what I'm going to do with it now is I'm going to have it painted in military green, as my dad's Marine Corps, brother's Marine Corps. I've been very close with several groups of the Special Forces in different areas because of hand-to-hand combat and because I'm a medic. And I'm thinking about kind of doing a World War II nostalgia kickback, you know, like the B-52 bombers with the nose cone. And they always had back in the day, they always had a gal painted on the front of the nose, you know, just kind of like you see on the back of the truck flaps, only it wasn't that tasteless, you know, and, you know, they call it like, you know, the Amy Lou or, you know, something like that, so some sort of country name on it. So I was thinking about that, but I looked for a long time, and it's just a coincidence. The swords and sharp objects flying around, very, very careful. And let me tell you, if there's ever a monster in your house, don't go swinging the swords around. There's all sorts of sharp things that, you know, get hurt with. So I would say, you know, like a styrofoam bat maybe might work well, but the front yard is really kind of the place for that sort of thing. That's where I practiced when I was your age. I beat the monsters up in the front yard or the backyard. Think you could do that? All right, because you were looking good in that outfit, man. You might be the next head honcho. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for coming out, man. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you.